Hey guys, Frank here, and today I'm going to do another Cat-6 flight. Not long ago, I did a Cat-6 flight in the Air Force Labs aircraft, and I made a series of mistakes early on, and I failed the rating. And I've been flying, I've been simming for quite some time, so that cat rating should have been a piece of cake. And I found myself struggling with the GPS, and as I struggled, things went downhill. I also didn't plan it properly. So as a result, I flew too low and just barely avoid flying into a mountain as it got dark. If you go back and look at that flight, there was a section where I could see nothing but black, and I was like, well, maybe there ought to be some street lights in my view. So I thought that may have been a mountain in front of me. And just as I turned on, I turned on my landing lights with the hopes that I could see the mountain. And as soon as I turned my landing lights on, a few seconds later, the mountain appeared, and I was able to pull up in spite of having the autopilot trying to hold my altitude at 5,500. So today I am going to make the same flight, get a Cat-6, tune into PilotEdge, and have the controller watch me as I fly from Bakerfield, California to Mojave Desert, to Mojave Airport in the Mojave Desert out in California. So guys, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first thing I am going to do is put my flight plan in my ForeFlight iPad, which I didn't do last night. Which I didn't do when I almost hit that mountain. And the next thing I am going to do is go ahead and start my checklist here. And we'll actually kind of go through this checklist a little bit. Okay, now since I'm simming, I don't go through the whole thing. So let's turn everything off. And let's see, so avionics is off and max are off. I know that. Fuel check quantity, and all of this needs to be done with the battery switch on. So I got a half a tank in both tanks, so I'm good on fuel. Flaps, and I know my flaps should be working. And yep. Okay, so my flaps are fine. Just checking the stuff that's gonna affect the flight. Okay, I think I got a key that'll get me down there really quickly. All right, and then trim. And I'm gonna set my trim to neutral. Now this yoke has an electronic trim that only works when the battery is on, but this aircraft only has a manual trim. so because I got a yoke that has an electronic trim set in the alpha yoke, then I actually get trim. Okay, so trim is set. And let's go back and look out the window again. Okay, baggage doors closed, yada yada yada, and at this point I always go here, set my brakes are set, circuit breakers are in, none has popped out. You know, there is something that I need to do, and I noticed that lately whenever I fly this plane, my turn coordinator is never centered. I was looking at the X-Plane manual last night, and there is a way to calibrate the trim. So I should go through that exercise before this flight, but I'm not. Okay, alternate errors off, circuit breakers in, brakes set, prop 4 forward, and avionics are off, fuel selected. We got the same amount of gas in both tanks, so we'll start off on the left, and let's get the engine started. So let's crack the throttle, alternator on, battery on, master fuel pump on, and mixture for rich, and then let's see, and then back to idle. Okay, prop clear, and let's get her started. Let's check the oil pressure. I always do that first. I want to kill an engine. Starter is engaged. Mixture is for rich. Engine is confirmed start. Mags are both. Throttle up to 1400. And I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. Okay, throttle to 1400. Oil pressure is checked. And I'm good. Alright, so to taxi, let's clear left, clear right. And we got this guy in front of us. But let's go ahead and tune in to, let's go ahead and get our ADAS. And go ahead and tune in to PilotEdge. Now, on the Piper Era, I use a different call sign than I do on the Cessna 172. In fact, as I would in real life, I use a different call sign for each of the airplanes that I fly. And I fly quite a few, but not that many on PilotEdge. Okay. Arrow 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. Okay, and then let's get logged in. And now let's go ahead and file a flight plan. So I am filing a flight plan on a website, and I need to have OBS show me how to show you my browser. So that's something I should do, but I'm not going to do that just right now. So if you guys just bear with me. Kilo Bravo Foxtrot Lima, that's where I'm at, and my destination. Come on, browser. Waiting on the browser. Okay. Kilo Mike Hotel Victor is my destination, Mojave. Okay. And again, I'm waiting on the browser. I don't know why the browser is running so slowly. November 286 Whiskey Foxtrot is my aircraft, and the type is a P-28R, and cruise is 140, and my cruising altitude for this flight is 77,500, and my alternate airport, if for some reason I can't land at Bravo, it's going to be Mountain Valley, which is L94, Lima 94, and my okay, so this is the kind of stuff to make a video feel boring, so I may edit some of this time out just so that you don't spend your time waiting, looking at the plane run and me talk. Okay, so I filed my flight plan, and I'm connected to PilotEdge. Okay, so let's do this. Now, let's tune my radios. So I need PilotEdge frequencies. I think I need tower, ground, and ATIS. Okay, I think ground is 0.9. But I probably ought to check that. Ground is 0.7. Okay, so, and when I say 0.7, most airports have a ground frequency of 121. So what tend to change is that last decimal. So ground is going to be 121.7. So let's just kind of move in, and let's see, actually let me pull that out and blow it up. I've come to realize that it's easier to see if I do it here for the videos. Okay, 121.7. There's my 0.7, there's my 121, so there's my ground frequency, tower.
Bravo Delta reaching 3000, turn right, heading 040.
And I want to turn the volume down just until I get all this in. Let's see, there's the volume. The volume is not modeled. At least not on the button. But it is modeled here.
99 Whiskey, correction, American 99 Whiskey. Lake clearance 5x5.
Wait, say again?
5x5.
Okay. And actually, some of that engine noise turned down would be great.
37 Bravo Delta, actually, amendment heading, landing 250, contact LA Center 135.5.
And turn it back up. doesn't seem to be turning down the engine noise, so let's turn it down here.
7 Bravo Delta LA Center, hello. Climb and maintain
Exterior
9,000.
and interior noises, let's cut them by half. Radios, let's turn that up. And see what we get.
November 7 Bravo Delta, turn right, direct Van Nuys.
Okay, so I want to turn the radio down just a little bit. I want you guys to be able to hear him and hear me too, and I'll turn the radios up in just a second. Okay, I was putting in my frequencies.
1306 Charlie, contact Santa Barbara Tower 119.7.
That's still pretty low. Alright, let's see how that sounds. The tower is
Santa Barbara Tower, Skylane 1306 Charlie on the RNAV 7 approach.
Seem to be working.
November 1306 Charlie, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 7, cleared to land, wind 09008.
Let's see, let's turn it down.
Clear to land, runway 7, 1306 Charlie.
Let's turn it down there. Okay. And I did get feedback that I should have turned down my engine sounds on my other video, so that's another reason why I'm turning it down a little bit. Okay, so 118.8 is my frequency for tower. .8 and 118. So it goes to 136, and then it
November
goes to
39 Whiskey, contact SoCal approach
okay, so that's my
134.2.
tower. And my ATIS is 118.6. I'm sorry, tower should be 0.1.
November 3539 Whiskey, SoCal approach. Maintain VFR outside Bravo airspace and advise established on the coastal route. November 39 Whiskey, Van Nuys, altimeter 3006.
And ATIS is 0.6. Okay. So my frequencies are tuned in. I start off on ground and I switch to tower when I line up. Alrighty. So let's get our ATIS.
Approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information, Oscar.
Oscar.
Meadows Field, Bakersfield, California. ATIS information, Oscar. 2054 Zulu. Wind 170 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 21. Dew point -2. Altimeter 29er. Arriving and departing runway 2 left, 1 to right. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information, Oscar.
Okay. So I got Oscar there.
Meadows Field, Bakersfield, California. ATIS information, Oscar. 2054 Zulu. Wind 170 at...
Okay.
Los Angeles current, American 909.
So it's 299er,
to Las Vegas.
29er.
American 9er
Put that
Whiskey,
in my
Los Angeles clearance. Cleared to
that
the
in
Las Vegas
here.
McCarran Airport via the Orca 2 departure. Myson transition that has filed. Climb via Civics that maintain 5,000. Departure frequency 125.2. Squawk 3544.
okay. So
Say again, Squawk, American 909 Whiskey.
American 99 Whiskey 3544.
I guess at this location, that's my elevation. When I checked the elevation in the charts, it say the field is at 509 feet.
KMHV
But
544 and departure
The
frequency
terrain,
125.2.
the topology may not be
American 909 Whiskey.
level throughout the
American 99
airport,
Whiskey, read that correct?
so that you know, it could have a
Thank you, Rocky 9
50, 60 foot drop from one location to the other. And I think they actually show you the highest point. All right. So with that done,
November 39 Whiskey, verify you were looking for the
Still
coastal route
turn that
transition
down.
as well.
the radio's still pretty loud, so I'm just gonna
39 Whiskey, roger. Climb and maintain VFR at
I'm
5,500.
just gonna turn off the radio for right now, and until I get ready. Now, what was the next step? Okay, so I guess we are ready for the radios. We are ready to taxi. We got we put our ATIS in, and now all we need to do is get our clearance.
1306 Charlie.
Okay, so I guess we do have a decent volume on our radios, so let's get our clearance. Let's get rid of this guy first. I hate when that, there we go. I hate when. Okay. Clean up here. And we at Atlantic. You know what? There's some things that I still need to do. I still need to get. I still need to put my flight in. So I ain't quite ready for my clearance. All right. So my flight plan. All right. So it's actually already set up. Mojave is 49.2 miles
Number
from
7
this
Bravo Del,
location.
contact SoCal approach
It's a really
134.2.
short flight, and it's I need to tell it to fly it. So let me activate that. Okay, so
Number
that's
7 Bravo
activated.
Delta SoCal approach. Hello, Burbank altimeter 3006.
All right, and we've been sitting here so long that with the engines running that we burn a significant amount of petrol. So but I actually have to have the engine running, or at least drawing power from the battery to put in the flight plan. Okay, so I just switched tanks to the fullest tank for the takeoff, and let's see, let's look at our checklist. Okay, so we're not quite ready to taxi. We get our taxi clearance, and Mojave is gonna be a southeast departure. Okay. Bakersfield Tower, error 286 Whiskey Foxtrot is at Atlantic, and we're ready to taxi with Oscar, and we'll be departing to the southeast for a Cat-6 out Bakersfield. I was about to give them more information, but I didn't want to overwhelm them. Oh man, I don't know if he heard me. Bakersfield Tower, radio check. I don't think he's hearing me. I had this problem the last time I did a flight, and I'm not sure why this is not persisting. Okay, push the top, and I'm gonna use combo.
353 9er Whiskey, thanks. Contact SoCal approach 134.9er.
So let's try this again.
Santa Barbara Tower, November 123, my Foxtrot holding short of 15 right, ready for takeoff IFR.
Number 353 9er Whiskey, SoCal approach, clear through LA Bravo airspace by the coastal route southbound, maintain VFR at 5,500 while inside Bravo airspace and the LA altimeter 3005.
Let me read back.
November 123 Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 15 right, cleared for takeoff.
15 right, cleared for takeoff, November Romeo Foxtrot.
Bakersfield Tower, Arrow 286 Whiskey Foxtrot.
286 Whiskey Foxtrot, Bakersfield Tower, go ahead.
Yeah, we read the taxi. We're over at Atlanta Aviation. We'll be departing to the southeast, and this is for the Cat-6. We'll be cruising at 7,500.
Number 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, departure frequency 118.8. Squawk 3, correction 6325.
6325. Departure frequency 118.8, squawk 6325, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot.
November 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, read that correct. Southwest 57 LA Center, hello.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put our squawk code in, 6325.
November 7 Bravo Delta after Van Nuys, clear direct Pomona VOR,
Let's put on
direct Paradise,
altitude reporting.
then as filed.
Okay, and we didn't get taxi instructions, so let's do that.
November 7 Bravo Delta, SoCal approach, have a small reroute advise ready to copy.
Actually, yeah, we'll stay with ground.
Number 123 Romeo Foxtrot, contact departure.
Departure Romeo Foxtrot.
Number 7 Bravo Delta after Van Nuys, clear direct Pomona VOR, direct Paradise, then as filed.
Mojave Tower 6 Whiskey Foxtrot ready to taxi.
That was like 2 or 3 at once there. November 123 Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Barbara departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000.
Okay, so
Number 7 Bravo Delta, read back correct after Van Nuys, descend and maintain 7,000.
ground traffic always get the lowest priority.
And someone calling Mojave Tower, I believe is who they were calling. Go ahead.
Bakersfield Tower, Bakersfield Ground 286 Whiskey Foxtrot ready to taxi.
For 286 Whiskey Foxtrot to runway 30 right, taxi via Alpha Bravo.
30 right via Alpha Bravo 6 Whiskey Foxtrot. Okay. And
November 7, correction 3771
so
Romeo,
we're
LA
clear
Center,
release
hello.
our
The Needles altimeter
parking
3020, do you have an
and
approach request?
check our steering. All right, and brakes. Okay.
For 71 Romeo, Needles altimeter 3020, say approach request.
And yeah, we can clear that guy.
For 77, or correction, November 7, 1 Romeo, Roger, fly heading 050, and advise the field in sight.
So we want Alpha and Bravo. So we can actually go out on here. Clear for traffic. We got baggage cart coming. And I think as soon as this baggage cart clear, we can jet out there. No pun intended. And I'm getting 26 frames. I wonder why my computer is freezing up that way. Actually, now that I've got my window closed, I can turn up the volume a little bit so I can hear some engine sounds. Let's see, environment. This doesn't seem to be working. So let's just get rid of it. And we're gonna go down here and do our ground check and run up. But first, let's get our sounds set. Aircraft interior went down to 0. Okay. Okay, I hear a little bit now. And so winds were 170 at 7. So, and Oscar told us to expect different runways. And that happens a lot with PilotEdge. Sometimes the controller and the ADAS doesn't always match up.
170 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 21. Dew point -2. Altimeter 29er. Arriving and departing runways 12 left, 12 right. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information, Oscar.
It's the Oscar.
Meadows.
Okay. So let's do our run up right quick. Ground checks. Checklist. Okay, parking brake set.
via tilt to arrival.
Full forward. Check. Throttle up to 2000.
Mojave 380, Santa Barbara altimeter 3003.
Left mag.
3539 Whiskey, contact SoCal
the
approach
drop.
128.1.
Right mag. Got the drop. Vacuum looks okay. Oil temp and pressure is in the green, so I'm good. And I can be checking this off the amp meter. Let's okay, so the alternator light came on and I did get my drop here. Announcer in a panel. It's not much to it. Back or yep, that's working. Prop exercise, and let's cool down. I got my RPM dropped to about 700. Manifold pressure went up to about 28, and my suction dropped from 5.8 down to about 4.8. I'm sorry, from 5.1 down to about 4, which is about what we expected. So we're looking good on the prop exercise. Alternate air is closed, fuel pump. Let's turn it off and make sure that our fuel pressure holds. And it dropped a little bit, but it's holding, so fuel pressure is okay. And let's retard.
We're 604 Sierra LA Center. Hello, climb and maintain flow 230.
Okay, so let's check and make sure our compasses are aligned. I like to check that before I get out there. That's about right. Okay. Now, battery, master on, alternator on, flight instruments.
71 Romeo, the Lake Havasu to the airport, 12 o'clock, 20
Fuel
miles.
selector on the fullest tank, check. And
71 Romeo, Roger. And
fuel pumps back on, alternate air still closed, mixture set, prop 4 forward, flaps 10 degrees, set, and trim, we set that.
3771 Romeo, Roger, IFR cancellation received, squawk to maintain VFR. And,
Okay, controls
still on radar service or negative?
are free and clear, and I can check it.
71 Romeo, Roger, the frequency change approved, have a good night.
Okay, looking good on controls, and the door is closed and latched. Okay, so we are ready to roll, guys. Okay, all right, so we're gonna line up on the runway, and we're gonna rotate at about 70 knots, 75, and climb out at 79. Okay, we're gonna apply the brakes and retract our landing gear.
November 3 Romeo, Fox, transit approach request.
And once we get about 300 feet above the runway, then we'll raise our flaps. Okay, so that's our takeoff plan, brief. All right.
We're 604 Sierra. LA Center, good afternoon. Climb and maintain flight level 360.
And we at
We're 123 Romeo, Fox, Roger, cross San Marcos at 6,000. Cleared local edge of DME back course Alpha approach. Expect circle runway 12.
I hope my volume is not so loud that you can't hear me well. Sorry about the noise. Just move the microphone a little bit closer. All right. Bakersfield Tower, Arrow 286 Whiskey Foxtrot is holding at runway 30 right, ready to depart.
November 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, Bakersfield Tower, runway 30 right, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 30 right, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. Okay. So
approaching runway 30
We're
right.
calling, I believe it's Bakersfield Tower unanswered, say call sign.
Entered runway 30 right. 10,800 feet remaining.
So with a 10,000 foot runway, I really don't need flaps. Line up. Okay, lights, camera, and action. And lights are on. Camera is on, and action. Okay, we're gonna rotate about 75. Airspeed's alive, 60 knots, 65, 70 knots, 75, rotate. Tap the brakes and gear up. windy out here. At 300 feet, flaps up. And he didn't give us any specifications, so let's go ahead and do a right downwind since we actually departing to the right.
November 6 Whiskey Foxtrot, contact Bakersfield departure.
Bakersfield departure, 6 Whiskey Foxtrot. And I forgot to put that in. Bakersfield departure is 118.8. Bakersfield departure, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, 2,800 for 5,500.
Number 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, Bakersfield departure, radar contact, maintain VFR.
Maintain VFR, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. And I actually gave him the wrong cruise altitude because I'm actually looking for 7,500. Release my nose. Let's do a climb. Well, let's get out of this turn. Set up our GPS and might as well go ahead and engage it. Okay. So let's do our climb checklist. Okay, above 1,000, fuel pump off. External lights, landing lights off. Mixture full rich, throttle full power, everything is full. Climb speed should be about 97 knots.
Approach November 13, Romeo Foxtrot, request.
Raise up, lower our nose.
So approach November 13, Romeo Foxtrot, it looks like I would like to go to backwards Alpha
Electronic
30
trim.
and go meet with intention, publish halt and hold there.
3 Romeo Foxtrot, Roger, thanks for letting me know.
Electronic trim lowers my disengages the my electronic trim disengages the autopilot, so keep that in mind. Still ain't climbing out at 97, so my attitude can come down. I'm just gonna hold that manually, and I'm gonna go ahead and climb on up to 7,005.
Presidential 69 LA Center, go ahead.
Now I use the alpha yoke, and I get quite a bit of back pressure. But with this particular plane, the
Presidential 69 LA Center,
to get to the trim tab
maintain VFR.
is a little tough. Let's see. Okay. Trim it down a little bit more.
Presidential 69 radar contact. Looks like about 7 miles northwest of Lake Havasu City Airport. Maintain VFR and confirm the cruise altitude 12,500.
Guess I can live with that. Okay.
69 Roger, needle altimeter 3020.
And now, roughly every 15 minutes, I need to change tanks because on a low-wing aircraft, the gas is not gravity fed. It actually has a pump, and each wing has a pump in it. So I need to change tanks manually to pump gas into the engine, and
Mike Yankee, San Luis driver, Mike 29er, taxi via Alpha.
And I don't want the balance to get off. Earlier you heard me talk about the trim, the turn coordinator, this little ball here, and see how far off it is. Okay, so I'm at my cruise altitude, so let me nose over. And this particular plane does not have an out hole with the autopilot, so I have to trim it out. It actually does have an out hole that's kind of a cheat, but I tend not to cheat with it. I tend to just trim it manually, and there's a way that I do that, and I do that by getting it back where I can see my trim tab and my vertical tab at the same time, and that way I can keep an eye
566 Echo Bravo
on what's going on.
Go ahead.
As I trim. And you see my hands are off the yoke at this point, so I'm not having to apply the back pressure. Okay, but I do need to adjust my speeds. And let's see, let me look at my gas tanks. Right now I'm about even. Got a little bit more gas in my left tank than I do my right, so I give it a few more minutes. All right, and then let's look at my EEG so that I can adjust my mixture here. My EEG, I want my engine head temperature about right where it's set. Let's try that there. So
Number 556 Echo Bravo Bakersfield Tower, how do you hear?
Okay. So let's get back in my seat there. And you see I got it trimmed nicely. Sometimes it takes me a while to get the trim. Now, what's left, I'm actually, look like I'm descending about 15, well, now I'm ascending.
Mike Yankee, San Luis Tower runway 29er, cleared for takeoff on course approved.
But I would like to drop about 50 feet. So I'm going to power down just enough to drop about 25 feet per minute. Okay.
American 99 Whiskey, Roger, you can contact ground.
So we can look outside. And this is the California desert, guys.
Ground is going to be 121.75 on the south side. November 566 Echo Bravo Bakersfield Tower, how do you hear?
Okay, so I've given it just a little gas now to try to hold zero. Giving it, I say gas, but I mean throttle. And you can see the vertical speed indicator coming up. And I'm probably losing about 10 feet per minute. So just a touch more throttle.
Number 566 Echo Bravo
And let's see
Bakerfield
if
Tower
that get us
on 118.1.
where we want to be.
How to hear this transmission?
Okay, yep, so we're looking good. So we'll hold we'll hold what we got here.
123 Romeo Foxtrot, contact Santa Maria Tower 118.3.
Going to Tower Santa Maria, so den är från luften.
And this time I am using my 4th flight out.
Correction, American 99 Whiskey, LA ground trigger transponder on. Mojave 380 contact, SoCal approach 127.4.
Okay, so let's check our gas tanks. Let's go back to our fuller tank now, which is our left tank.
November 123 Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, clear to land, report going missed. Correction, circle northeast of the field, enter left downwind, runway 12, clear to land, report going missed.
What I like about this, about flying the Piper here, is I actually get the chance to do some flying. The autopilot is not doing all the work, so I'm actually having to look at my instruments to make sure the plane is doing what it should be doing. Now, one thing that I just noticed, I did adjust my EGT, which controls how hot my cylinder heads get, but apparently I need to readjust it, because if you look at my fuel flow, I mean, I'm just flooding my cylinders with gas. So I'm gonna pull this way back, and my EGT temps are going way up. And let me just pop in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So I want my fuel flow to come down, and now I want to adjust it down until my EGT on my cylinder heads get about where it should be, about right there. And that's how you use the EGT.
Thanks for the transponder, runway 25, taxi at Charlie Bravo.
And now you see I'm not using nearly as much gas, but my engine power adjusted, and I'm losing altitude, so I do need to adjust for that. So let me get back in the seat.
Southwest 57, contact SoCal approach 127.4.
And come down here and trim up. And as I approach this mountain, this is probably the last place that I really want to be losing that much.
Southwest 57, SoCal approach 6. Information, Lima is current runway altimeter 3005.
So I'm actually going to give it some throttle.
Southwest 57, thanks.
Now this is a turbo, so once you give it throttle, I get a yellow light to let me know that the turbos have kicked in. Okay, so now I am back to my cruising altitude, and I want to trim it right where it's at. So actually I got my throttle. I'm going to pull back my throttle just a little bit and trim it up.
Presidential 69, contact Los Angeles, correction, Las Vegas, approach 125.9er.
Trimming it the wrong way. And back up so I can see what I'm doing.
Calling Santa Barbara departure, say again.
Santa Barbara departure, November
Get
172,
them
Mike
both in
Yankee.
sight here.
So we're 172 Mike Yankee, Santa Barbara departure, going with your request.
2 Mike Yankee, we are 6 miles.
Sometimes it takes as long as
San
5
Luis,
minutes
like pick up,
to get this
flight
guy
calling
trimmed out.
To Bakersfield.
Sometimes not.
November 172 Mike Yankee, Santa Barbara departure, squawk 1762, maintain VFR.
Squawk 1762, and we'll maintain VFR altitude.
Okay,
Mike
so
Yankee.
I want to trim it up just a touch. I actually want to bleed off just a little altitude. Alright. And get it trimmed. Bleed off just a few feet. Alright. And let's see if it settles where I want it to settle. Okay. So I think the rest of the trim I can do with the throttle. So it's picking up, but I'm expecting it to come back
Yankee,
down.
Santa Barbara departure radar, contact 10 miles northeast of San Luis, say again destination, and requested cruise altitude.
Over to Bakersfield and 5,500 to Mike Yankee.
Okay, so it looks like I'm trimmed out pretty good here. And my prop is set to about 24. I could have pulled that back a little bit to about 23. My flight's halfway over, so it's almost no need now. Okay, I'm gaining a little altitude, so I'm going to throttle back just a touch. And you see I'm actually flying the plane and not, even though I'm using my autopilot, I still got work to do. So my ForeFlight app just reminded me to put in my AWAS radio. It looked it up for me. So it's 132.225.
Josh approach 124.55.
And let's go ahead and listen.
Southwest 57, contact SoCal approach 128.1. 128.1 for Southwest 57.
I actually can't hear it. Let's see if I can fix that here.
Romeo Foxtrot, Roger, contact departure 0.55.
Okay.
6040, contact Alpha Center 127.45.
I don't seem to be able to fix it without stopping the flight and going back into the settings. So since this is a simulator, I can actually read it. Mojave information uniform. So I got uniform. And let's see, winds 130 at 6, visibility more than 10, skies clear, temperature and dew point altimeter 3018. So high to low, look out below. So I'm going low to high. So when I put my new altimeter reading in, I'm actually going to gain some altitude.
2234 times 2205.
3018. That's 10. That's about 18 there. And since the aircraft is doesn't have an altitude hold, then I'm gonna have to adjust this altitude manually. High to low, look out below. So actually it looks like I'm about to descend some. Get my 7,500 back. I'm 14 miles from Mojave, so I'm getting pretty close to my destination. Just picking up some turbulence here.
Do you want me to climb more than 2,100 for Guadalupe VOR and hold? But you're on the Foxtrot. No, I didn't because I wanted to see if you were going to, if you knew the correct altitude. But yeah, you can do it now. How many 4,000? 4,000, that'll be possible.
Okay, so I've clocked in my correct altitude. And let me retrim here.
Okay, my Yankee, contact Los Angeles Center, 135.5. 35.5, see ya, my Yankee.
Before I trim with the tabs, I'm gonna get my power set to where I want it. Okay, so, and let's see if we can get down.
What's up to my Yankee Los Angeles Center, the Bakerfield altimeter, 2995.
Right there is where we want. And raise that nose. Actually, I'm so close now, it's almost time for me to fly by hand anyway. Okay, so that's good enough. Maybe one more tab. No, that's good. I think I'm good. Okay, so let's look for my airport. Yep, so let me let Tower know I got the airport in sight. Well, he should have an eye on me. Let me reduce the power and pull off this extra altitude. Get back down to 7,500. Let's see how far I'm away. I'm 8 miles away. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Let me put in my tower frequency. 127.6.
399 Whiskey contact Fortune.
Sorry, Los Angeles departure, make the 9 Whiskey at 5,000.
Great American 99 Whiskey, Sugar departure, ready to contact, turn left, direct clipper, resume departure, climb via steady.
Turn left, direct clipper, continue via steady, American 99.
Joshua approach 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. We got the field in sight.
Our 286 Whiskey Foxtrot has been calling you. Your Bakerfield approach. Contact Mojave Tower 127.6, Squawk VFR.
127.6 squawk VFR 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. Didn't hear you. I did not hear my call sign. Mojave Tower 286 Whiskey Foxtrot is 5 miles to the northwest, inbound 4-stop.
286 Whiskey Foxtrot, Mojave Tower, enter right downwind runway 26, report midfield.
Right downwind runway 26 will report midfield. 286 Whiskey Foxtrot. Okay. All right. So I actually need that downwind to bleed off some altitude, but this is 8, this is 26, so I'm gonna land on this runway here, and the so I've got the airplane now, my plane. I have to go after, when I play this back, I have to see why I didn't hear them. And if I didn't hear them, then I apologize deeply. Okay, so let's do our landing checklist, and actually I'm gonna do glumps this time.
American 99 Whiskey, contact Los Angeles Center 125.
Gas, lights, undercarriage, mixture, and props. My seat belts are tight, and
125.27.
should be getting about midfield. Okay, as soon as that go off, I call. Okay. Mojave Tower 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, midfield.
Our 6 Whiskey Foxtrot, runway 26, clear to land, one call.
Clear to land, runway 26, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot.
American 99 Whiskey, Los Angeles Center, comment info 230.
Okay, so I am way under my speed. And actually the runway that I was about to land at would have been the wrong one. No, it wouldn't. It would have been the right one. I said 8 and 26. Yep, I had the right one. All right. So I don't know It bothers me that I didn't hear him calling me. I heard him calling somebody who wasn't answering, but I didn't recognize the call sign, which is why I didn't answer. Let's see.
133.2.
So let's turn. Oh, it's off. Let's turn and get lined up and get down. Okay, flouts. And I want to come in at about
Short final runway
75.
Recognize Whiskey Golf Center, Roger.
And the lights are on.
Recognize Whiskey Golf Center 310.
Okay, dynamic braking. And then toe brakes, toe brake here. More dynamic braking. And swing back. And I need a sign. Okay, I'm on alpha. And let's see, so 26. Mojave Tower, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot, it's clear the runway at alpha.
This was Foxtrot tax targeted Charlie. Was this for cat rating?
Affirmative. Taxi to parking via Charlie, 286 Whiskey Foxtrot.
602 Foxtrot, thank you. Pass for the Cat-6. Just be careful about your call sign. I called you, I think I want to say about five or six times.
Roger that. I heard you calling somebody. I didn't recognize the call sign, so I didn't think it was me. 286 Whiskey Foxtrot.
Foxtrot Santa Barbara approach.
Okay, so I passed that that time, but when I go back, I will scrub back through the video and listen and see if he called.
Through Foxtrot Cliffs Inlet Airport via direct Morro Bay. Cross Morro Bay 4000, clear view or out approach circle.
Okay, so let's pretend we got a marsh out there and he just told us to stop. All right, brakes, and we're gonna shut down using SLIM, which is switches, lean, ignition, and master. Okay, so switches, turn off all my lights. Fuel pump off, and alternator off, lean, ignition, and master. Okay, and we are parking brake is set, so we are good to go. So guys, it's been real. Hope you enjoyed this flight, and I know I'm not the most dynamic speaker, but if you stuck with me through the whole flight, I do appreciate it. Till next time, ciao.